Hello everyone. So now let us check our next process, which is powder coating. So to explain you about the powder coating process, I have taken example of these two profiles, in which one is a complete closed profile, whereas other one is an open profile. Now there are two scenarios of making a powder coating. One is where you want to make powder coating only on the outside surface of a profile, which is in the case 1. And the second case is where you want to make powder coating on the outside surface as well on the inside surface, since it is open and visible. So to help CADBID in giving this information on which side there is a powder coating, we will have to calculate the perimeter of the profile where the powder coating is applied, and we will have to give it in a perimeter attribute. So to calculate the perimeter of this profile, I will just go to the cross section of this profile, and we can just calculate all the 4 sides of a profile. So the perimeter for the square profile is 400. Whereas for the open profile, we will calculate the value of the outside, plus we will also calculate the values of the inside area. So the perimeter for the open profile is 580. So now we have to give this perimeter information under the user attribute 3. So we will quickly go to attributes. We go to all attributes, and we have to give this information under user attribute 3. So for this, the perimeter is 400. And for this profile, the perimeter is 580. I have already made a category of profile in CADBID, and I have added the product and pricing for these two profiles as well. So now I will go to CADBID and make a process of powder coating under the profiles category. So to add the process, we'll go to process tab, and under the process type, I will choose powder coating. I will name it as powder coating. And for 1 square meter, I can just say it is 50. The dealer price is 40 and the super dealer price is 30. Just a note, these two prices are not important. Even if you just put the level 1 price, it's completely fine. I can define a unit, whether to calculate on per square meter or square feet. So I want to calculate it on square feet, and I can define a category. So I only want to calculate the powder coating on profiles category. So I have made this category. I will just select it and I will just click on save. The process is made. Now let us go back to Python and generate the quotation for these two profiles. So I'll click on part list, and once the part list is ready, I will just click on the bid. So the quotation is ready. I go to reports, and if I go to process wise report, I can see the cost for powder coating as well. So the quantity is 10.55 square feet, and the price for 1 square feet is 50 rupees, and this is the total price. So under all category report, I can just turn on the profile report, and I can check how much meter of profile is required. So I made both the profiles of 1 meter. So this is the quantity and this is the price. So I hope this is clear to you all. Now let us go to our next process of surface charges. So if we talk about the surface process, it is mainly similar to the painting process. The only difference is it doesn't calculate all the 6 sides of a part. So if I take example of this top panel, if I make it exclusive visible, so it will only calculate the surface area where there is a face coating, and it will not calculate the edges of this panel. So if you remember when we learned about material palette, where we learned about making different kinds of material, so there is a button for face coating as well here. So here I can decide on which side I want to apply face coating. So maybe if I want to apply separate on both the sides, I can just click on this button inside outside, or else I can just say I want to apply same face coating on both the sides. So I will click on both, and I say I want to apply a face coating of laminate, and I want it on both the sides. I will just click on save. I will say okay, and I will apply it on this top panel. Now once I am done with applying the material and the face coating from the palette, I will now go to CADBID and make a surface process under the name of laminate. So I go to process, and I will go to surface process. I can name it as laminate glue charge, and here there is a button called as post optimization. So if I click on yes, it will optimize my panel on an 8x4 sheet, and then after the optimization, it will tell me the quantity of the complete board, and then multiply that quantity with my price factor. So at the moment I say I don't want post optimization, so I will click on no. And I will give a price for lamination glue roughly around 60, and I can define a unit. So I say I want it on per square feet. I can define a category. So I say I want it for panels, and I just click on save. So the process is made. Now let us go to Python and generate a quotation. So I go to part list and I click on the bid button. So our quotation for the cabinet is ready. Now let us go to the reports tab, and I go to process wise report. And in this, I have one more process called as lamination glue charge. I have the total quantity, the price and the total price for it. Just to note that this quantity is only calculated from the top face and the bottom face of the panel, and all the sides are excluded. Okay, now let us learn about the overhead process. Now to add the overhead process, we'll go to the process tab and we'll click on the overheads. Now this overheads, it can be anything. I will name it as a marketing cost, and I can add it on the category items I want. So if I say I want to add it on hardware, so all the items which are coming on the hardware category will have a marketing cost of 50 rupees on each item. And if I make a quotation on dealer price, then it is 40, and if it's super dealer, then it is 30. Same way, you can add any kind of overheads to any category of items. So whenever there is a hardware of, let's say, 1000 rupees, I say I want to add a 50 rupees as a branding cost to it. I will just click on save, and now I will just make the quotation once again for this cabinet. So I have few hardwares in this, so let's see how does it work. So let's see what is the marketing cost for this cabinet. So I go to reports tab, and under the process wise report, I have one more process of marketing. So in total, I had 18 hardwares in my project. So the quantity is 18, and there is a 50 rupees extra marketing cost for each of them. So this is the total marketing cost for this particular cabinet. So if I open the hardware report, if you see, so I have in total of 18 items in hardware. So this was the overhead report. Similarly, you can make any kind of process under the name of overhead, and you can assign it to any category you want. Now let us learn about the installation process. So this installation process, it is slightly different from assembly and labor, because in the assembly and labor process, you can define a percentage and you can set logics. Whereas this installation process is used at product level. So let's say you are selling a chimney of 1 lakh rupees, and you say to install this chimney, I need a 5,000 as an installation charge. So if you remember our Excel item master, so in that there is a column of installation charge. So when you fill product entries for your items, you can also add the installation charge right in front of them. So you can say whenever there is a Blum soft close drawer coming in, you need to have a 500 rupees as an installation charge. Wherever you have to add a leg, you say I need 5 rupees as an installation charge. Same way, you can add different installation charges based on different products. So I will just click on save, and we will update this item list once again on CADBIT. So I go to CADBIT, I go to setup, I go to product and import from Excel, and I will just import this Excel file once again. I will just click on import. So the item list is updated successfully. Now we go to the process master, and we will make, so now we go to setup, we go to process, and we will add the process of installation as well. So just adding the installation cost in Excel is not enough. You will have to come here and make a process of installation as well. So I will rename this thing as product installation, and I say I want this thing on fittings and hardware category. I will just click on save now. I will go back to Python and generate a quotation. So let's go to report, and I will open the process wise report. And if I enlarge it, so you can see clearly that these are the processes used, and for installation you are charging this much, and on which product is the installation charge applicable, that will also come up here. So for Blum soft close, it is 500 rupees, and for the leg is 5 rupees. So this is the total product installation, and this is the assembly and labor charge.